it's Johara, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm going to be talking about Monster High the Movie 2, which I watched on premiere day, obviously. I would have watched it much sooner, but at work. And then we went to the store, and then we had to get things set up once we came home, because we have a projector now, and that's where we were watching it. So, but I watched it, and I loved it so much. Draculaura's my favorite character in G1 and G3. So I'm so happy I have movies centered around her. My favorite movies in the original for the most part, because Haunted and Boo York Boo York are my favorites, and so is Ghouls Rule and Friday Night Frights. But my main favorite movies of G1 is Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love and Frights Camera Action. Why, you may ask? Because they center around Draculaura, and she's my favorite. Any movie centered around Draculaura, I am in love with. This is definitely my favorite of the two. And so my thoughts. The songs were so good. Um, and I love getting to see more of Draculaura and her witchcraft and see her, even though people know about her and it's not, I don't want to say it was accepted because it's not totally, but um, she just feels like one line that I can use perfectly to describe her in this movie, and one of her lines in the first song, she said, "Why does my freedom not feel free?" And that's basically her storyline. She wants to make peace, and it doesn't help when Toralei shows up and talking about how awful witches were because of her fight with them in France. And she's bringing everyone against witches, and they start listening. And so I'm pretty sure I did a review of the first movie when it came out, and I'm pretty sure I said that I shipped them because I know there were some people that shipped them in G1, Draculaura and Claudine. Um, I was never one of those people, but they were always my favorite friendship. I absolutely loved their friendship and everything about it. Um, I always loved their scenes together, and I always wish we got more of their friendship. But in G3, in the movies at least, not the series. The series I shipped Draculaura with Laguna. That's a whole other story. One of these days I'll make a video on the series. Maybe after season one's over, I can do a season one recap or something. Let me know if you want that, because I would love to do that. Uh, but in these movies, I shipped Draculaura and Claudine, which I never did in G1. And we got so much of their friendship in this movie, and I loved it. And we got some of Frankie and Draculaura and Frankie and Claudine and the trio, and it was just so beautiful because I love this trio even more so than in G1. Because in G1 I wasn't a huge fan of Frankie, but G3 I love Frankie, so I love them. Um, I think they're my second favorite character now. Like they were nowhere near close to being a favorite of mine in G1, but they are in G3. I love Frankie. But there's still no Draculaura. Draculaura will always be my favorite. G1, G3, I don't care. I just love Draculaura apparently. Um, but anyways, and I love getting to see them and the everything Claudine did to get to Draculaura was so sweet. And so I should have said something beforehand. Um, this is obviously going to contain spoilers because I am talking about the movie. So just I'll throw that in before I really get deep into spoilers because I haven't quite yet. But anyways, moving on. Uh, Claudine, this entire movie is like the main. She's running for prefect along with Toralei, and Toralei's campaign is to protect monsters, go against witches, and Claudine's entire campaign is to include everybody, witches, humans, monsters. I mean, she's part human, Draculaura's part witch, so it's important to her that they're all included in it. Um, and There's just a couple scenes that really stuck out with me. I love my favorite song has to be "This Is Not How Our Story Goes," um, and how Draculaura feels like this is something she has to do, but Claudine and Frankie are so terrified of losing her. It is so sweet. I love this trio, and I also really like Cleo in this movie. Like I, I feel like she's a lot like G1 Cleo in some ways. Like, which I love G1 Cleo too. and how she is so much more than just some stereotypical mean girl because at the end of the day she truly loves Deuce and she well in G1 and she truly loves her cool friends and she would do anything for them. And one line I absolutely loved from her is um, when she found out that they have Draculaura through her scarabs. I think they're scarabs, right? Those little bugs. Um, and then Toralai's, being Toralai, and she's like, "Not now. Our friend is in trouble." It's like, at the end of the day, that's all she cared about, which was really sweet. I still think Cleo should have been in the final fight, but that's just me. Laguna too, but um, I get why they had to stay back in the first time they went to the human world, but I feel like they should in the end, like there was nothing holding them back from going that time, so I have no idea. But anyways, and I love Claudine's speech, how she was saying, um, we know what it's like to be persecuted, so we shouldn't be persecuting anybody else. And she's like, my best friend is a witch and she is good, and it was just so beautiful. And then in the end, she was willing to sacrifice herself because those bars were made of like some sort of iron that hurts monsters, but she didn't care. All she cared about was waking up Draculaura because if she finished the spell, then it would destroy all vampires, including her, but only a vampire could make it. So the evil witch put a spell on Dracula to make her say the spell, but it's delicate, so just touching her could wake her up. So Claudine risked her life to open the bars to be able to reach Draculaura and wake her up. And then Draculaura, it was her 69th birthday. She went into her full vamp powers, and she totally kicked the witch's butts. I wish we got to see more of that fight, though. That's a grievance of mine. Like, it was more focused on the fact that Claudine was dying, which I mean, fair, but at the same time, we should have seen the fight that not from her point of view, where she was like half out of it. But as much as I love this movie and I love the songs, I do have one major issue is that I feel like it shouldn't focus as heavily on Claudine as it did. This was supposed to be Draculaura's movie. The first movie was Claudine's with a subplot of Draculaura, so I would have been okay if Claudine's felt more like a subplot, but it also felt like just as important as Draculaura's story, which I feel like this should have been Draculaura's movie. Like, first movie was Claudine's, this one's Draculaura's, and the cliffhanger at the end leads you to believe that the third movie will be about Frankie and Deuce, not just Frankie, which I was kind of hoping it would be, but I'll take what I can get. Because at first I was afraid it was going to be like a Deuce movie and Frankie wouldn't get a movie until it showed them at the end. So I was like, yay. But, I lost my train of thought. Like, I know when I saw the music video when that was released a couple days ago, um, one issue both my mom and I had was that um, we felt like Dracula should have been seeing the main point against Toralei, not Claudine, because I guess this was supposed to be like a prefect versus prefect sort of thing, but at the same time, this is supposed to be Draculaura's movie, and that should have been Draculaura's song fighting for her rights, because the first movie Claudine was fighting for humans and monsters because she was half of both. And Draculaura's vampire and witch, so she should be the one fighting, which she was. But at the same time, I just feel like this should have been her song against Toralei because she has the main reason to be opposing Toralei. She is the main reason to oppose Toralei because she is a witch. And so I did have that. There was also the issue that um even if they were gonna have Claudine as the main one singing that opposing view, they should have had Dracula and Frankie up beside Claudine instead of those other random people. Like, it should have been the three of them, as it always is. And I also had issues in the finale song because it should have been Draculaura singing the main thing, and she should have been in the center because in the um first one it was Claudine in the center. Like, obviously it was her movie, so this one Draculaura should have been in the center. She should have been the center. She should have sang the main point of the song. She should have been in the center of the three, and I am very bitter about that. But those were my only issues with this movie. I love these sweet moments we got Frankie, Deuce, and Heath were hilarious as a trio. Especially, I love Frankie and Heath as a duo. And I really liked the Heath calling Draculaura D a couple times. I don't know why I like that. I just really like that. Like underrated friendship right there. um, but and I was a little sad that Draculaura's birthday party got um subsided for the prefects, and then it got all about Claudine winning instead of the fact that Draculaura is 1600 years old. She beat all the witches pretty much single-handedly, and she got her full powers, her full witch and man powers. So I just felt like it should have focused more on her in the end. And I don't like I don't like Claudia Deuce Gizzy. I mean, in the first movie, I feel like I was mostly against it just because I couldn't see Deuce with anybody else because I could only picture Deuce with Cleo. Which even if they didn't want Deuce and Cleo, fine. You know what? I can deal. We have all the things we have from G1. All the content. That's the word I was looking for from G1. But I still can't get behind Claudia and Deuce. I just never felt the spark. Not even in this movie. Um, and but I feel the spark with Jack Laura and Claudine. Like everything that happened between them this movie. I mean, I shipped them in movie one two. I've shipped them in movie one as well, but this movie just made me ship them even more. And it's just the movies. Like I said, it's not the series because Jack Laura with Laguna in the series. Which, like I said, if I end up doing that whole, which I probably will, once season one's over, do a whole video reviewing season one of that show. I will probably explain then why I shipped them. Um, which I feel like I don't know if people still ship them. I know when the show first started, people shipped them. But now I think people are shipping Dracula and Claw, which I mean I love Dracula and Claw from G1. They're my favorite ship from G1. But this is a new generation, so they're not going with the old, because I mean if they were, Cleo and Deuce would be together, but they're not. So, anyways, moving on back to the movie. um, and like there was just one scene in particular in the first movie that made me absolutely just die. Like it was when Draculaura and Claudine were Claudine had run away, so Draculaura and Frankie went to find her. And I just now realized that movie one Claudine ran away, movie two Draculaura's ran away. What's gonna happen next? Movie three Frankie's gonna run away? I can see that happening. But anyways, moving on. um that's my shame thought again. um But and Draculaura put her hand on top of Claudine, so they kind of stared at each other intently until Frankie interrupted. Like there were vibes there, and it made me ship them. And then this movie, all the scenes together, how close they were during that "This Is Not How the Story Goes" song, and everything Claudine was doing to save Draculaura, and everything just everything, like their little mannerisms and the hugs and how much they care about each other. Like I ship them so much. I ship them so much. And I'm mad that they are pushing this whole Claudine and Deuce thing. It's like this whole Claudine and Deuce thing. Um, because I do not want them together. But the series doesn't look like they're going that way because I don't think Claudine and Deuce have really had many scenes at all together. Um, I still think they should make Claudine Arrow Ace. I know that she was confirmed lesbian in G1, which I do love that they had that representation, but I never got lesbian vibes from her. Like I always got Arrow Ace vibes from her. Like she wasn't in, it was not that she was just disinterested in boys. She was disinterested in dating. Like I maybe it's just me projecting myself onto her, but I still think she should be Arrow Ace. I think I want that. They are doing so much representation this one. They need to have someone who's Arrow Ace. Like seriously, that's a need. That is a need. Moving on. Like I will literally die if someone says they're aromantic, asexual, or Arrow Ace. I will die. And I kind of wanted it to be Claudine because I feel like she should have been a G1. And so far, there's no one I'm really shipping her with because I don't ship her with Deuce. And then I know people were shipping her with Frankie at the beginning, but now I think people are shipping her or shipping them, not Claudine. Sorry, I'm getting characters mixed up now. Ugh. My necklace. um shipping them with Cleo now. Um, this is my dad's ashes and the necklace just doesn't want to screw on today. I'm gonna have to take this off and fix it. Anyways, moving on. Shipping Frankie and Cleo, which I do too. Am I doing this the wrong way? Oh, there it goes. Shipping Frankie and Cleo, and I do too. They're probably my second favorite ship in the series so far because my first is Dracula and Laguna because I just really want them together. But anyways, is that good? Okay. Um, and I keep going off topic. But so yeah, I did make a video on my activist channel because I have 3 YouTube channels. And my active channel, I have a video on there talking about how Claudine is an Arrow Ace icon, and I was talking about G1 Claudine. So yeah. But anyways, I'm trying to find the topic again. Um, and I like that Deuce is finally trying to find out who he is. Um, it looks like Deuce might have a big role in movie 3. I was hoping it would be like just Frankie, but I guess not. Um, I still feel like Frankie will be a big part of it though, which I'm happy about. And so I wonder how what's gonna happen where Claudine and Dracula is concerned, because I can't think of what their storyline could be. Like Dracula, I can't think of what Claudine's storyline could be. With Dracula, she could still be trying to fight for peace, because with the witches and vampire fight, that may not have helped her cause. Torali's on her side and the rest of Monster High, but the world isn't. So that could be Dracula's storyline. But it makes me wonder what Claudine's storyline is, and it makes me wonder what's gonna happen and why the Reaper wants Frankie when it's Claudine that, you know, cheated death. I have so many questions. And now I'm gonna have to wait another year to find out, just like I had to at the last year at the end of the first movie. So, anyways, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and tell me if you saw it, if you liked it, and I'll talk to you guys next time.